Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share a few new pieces that I've been adding to my wardrobe over the last couple of months. Even though it is very hot in New York right now, I'm still so excited for fall. It's my favorite season. I absolutely love it. And so, yeah, I've been picking up pieces honestly kind of throughout the summer. So I thought I would kind of bring them all together and kind of talk through how I think it's going to make my wardrobe a little more exciting this fall. I want to start backwards. I was going to start with the clothing, but I actually think I'm going to start with the accessories because, in my opinion, accessories are some of the best things to add to your wardrobe if you're looking to sort of like shake things up. And depending on, the caliber of accessory that you go for, it can be a less expensive option. So it could just be a cool pair of earrings or like a belt. And it's just a really nice way to kind of like refresh some of the clothes that you already have. So I have two pairs of shoes that I picked up and a handbag, which is very exciting. So let's jump right into it. So the first pair of shoes is probably not that surprising if you've been tuning into a few of my videos over the past few months, and honestly, even the past year. I think I don't know, when did I get my first pair of Converses? I'm not sure, but it wasn't that long ago. It might have been a year and a half, a year ago. I had never really worn Converses before that. I know a lot of people wore these when they were in middle school and stuff, which is awesome. I really don't know how I kind of missed out on that particular trend of a shoe, but I love Converses. I have a whole video I have actually multiple videos about sneakers that I will leave linked below if you want to check those out. But the thing that I love most about Converse is that they're really easy to pack and they're just like super lightweight and very comfortable. So living in New York City, visiting a lot of cities, I just tend to find these are the ones that I grab for the most. However, I already have a pair of high tops in the classic black, so just black and white, and I kept seeing these on my Pinterest board and they just looked so cool with a khaki blazer and this like black and white striped shirt. So that's kind of one way, with like a nice dark denim. That's how I envision styling these. But I just think it's sort of a nice way to add in a little bit of color into my wardrobe. I know that obviously this navy color is very much a neutral, but that is something, and a little bit of a theme that you're going to start seeing with a lot of these items, is that I am sort of inserting a few more colors into everything that I normally do, and it's kind of just breathing some new life into everything. So yeah, so these obviously are like, haven't really been worn yet, but I'm definitely looking forward to wearing these. So new pair of Converse, number one. This next shoe it's one of those things that's like trendy, but it's a classic, if that makes sense. So this is a very classic style of Adidas. This is the Adidas Samba shoe. It's like a soccer shoe, even though they made it more streetwear friendly. It doesn't have as long of a tongue. Definitely be careful when you're ordering them, because I almost accidentally ordered the soccer shoes because these are kind of hard to get your hands on right now just because they are so trendy. But I only have one pair of all black tennis shoes and I find them to be really uncomfortable. They're my Jimmy Choo tennis shoes. So I really don't ever wear them. And so I wanted just a cool pair of really like stylish, but not too bulky, sort of like all black or mostly black tennis shoes. So I definitely think I'm going to be wearing these a lot with trousers in the fall, and I mean maybe even like skirts and dresses and stuff. But I always like pairing a tennis shoe with something that's maybe a little bit more dressy, especially something like these, because they are really trend led right now. I think if I have a really classic outfit on, like throwing these on with it just adds a little bit of more sort of youthfulness to the vibe, just like the Converses do as well. So definitely looking forward to pairing these with a lot of outfits. Again, I haven't worn them. Well, that's not fair. I've worn them one time, and I'd actually be curious to hear if anyone else has these exact shoes, because the really high back really rubbed my ankle raw. Sorry for the graphicness, but they were really uncomfortable. I needed a much higher sock, and I made the mistake of having a sock that just, I guess, maybe didn't quite go high enough. And so overall, the shoe is extremely comfortable. I find them to be super supportive, and I can see myself walking around in these a lot. So I'm hoping that was just a little bit of a fluke and that I can break them in a little more before my travels in October. But do want to call out that like these weren't perfect out of the box in terms of comfort. So yeah, just definitely make sure that you wear a sock that's like high enough to sort of cover this little area. Now on to the handbag. So I'm actually going to do a whole separate video sort of covering my favorite like non-designer handbags because there's actually quite a few that I have been adding to my collection. I tend to like to add like a designer bag or a designer shoe to an outfit because it can really elevate like basic pieces from H&M and Zara and stuff and just make everything look really expensive. However, that being said, there are certain exceptions, and this was a clutch that I kept seeing on, just told you what it was, but so might as well show you. Let me just grab it. This is a clutch that is kind of slouchy, but like super simple, minimal, really chic to just like tuck under your arm. I mean, there's so many different outfits. I'll kind of be inserting them on the screen as I play around with styling, but it's this really gorgeous, like buttery soft leather, and this is from a company called Flattered. They have shoes, they have bags, but like all sort of very minimal, just like high quality items. They're not inexpensive by any means, just because they're not designer. They are more in the sort of like mid-tier luxury price points. I believe this is about $300 because it's real leather. And I love the kind of like fold over aspect of it. It's just kind of very informal, but I love the oversizedness of it. So it kind of reminds me of the Bottega pouch bag, but my issue with something like a Bottega pouch bag, I don't have an issue with it. It's a great bag, but sometimes with brands like that, like I remember when the Bottega pouch bag just like blew up and everyone had it. And that's like the danger of designer bags sometimes, is that they can feel dated a little bit quickly if it was like such a popular bag. So I just felt like this was a more sort of classic option. The Row also has a lot of options like this, but obviously that's going to be a much higher price point. So I just felt like this was like a really beautiful clutch that I could actually wear during the daytime. Like this is, I don't really see, I mean, I can wear it at night, but I can see this being a cool, just like daytime clutch to throw under my shoulder and go out and about. And I've been really happy with this. And I've actually, spoiler, I have another bag from this brand too. But like I said, I'm going to kind of go into more detail about these sort of non-designer handbags, but I did want to just call this out because it's been a really like integral piece that I've started to style up with some of these other new pieces in my wardrobe. So if you're looking for a good clutch bag. Oh, also shout out to Lydia Tomlinson, I think is her last name, but she's the one who she has this clutch in black leather, but she also has it in suede, and it does come in like a lighter suede version. So if you are looking for a light suede clutch, then this could be the one for you. Okay, now I want to cover the one sort of like jacket of this whole haul. It's of course not even really fall yet, depending on where you live. If you're in New York, it is high summer, basically. It's so hot outside. So I really haven't been picking up a lot of jackets. That being said, I also have a lot of jackets, so I don't really feel a strong desire to need to add like a lot of blazers and things to my wardrobe, but there is this one jacket that sort of popped up really randomly on COS, and I loved the fabric of it, and that's what really drew me to it. So let me share that with you. I actually still have the tags on it. I'm keeping it. I'm not returning it. I ordered this months ago, but I think I picked it up when they had like a 30% off sale of some type. But this is this beautiful 100% wool jacket. I have a wool gray jacket from Mango but it's more cropped, and this is a more sort of athletic, a little bit oversized sort of bomber vibe, and I don't really have anything like that, to be honest. So I think this is something that's gonna just look so nice thrown together, and because it's gray, it can pair really well with black, it can pair really well with navy. I just think, given how much I wore my sort of dark gray wool jacket last year, I think I'm gonna wear this like so much. And it's just, honestly, it's like the most stunning wool fabric, if you can see that. And so because it is all wool, it was definitely not inexpensive. It was, I'm sorry, I haven't really talked about price on any of these. This was $190, but like I said, COS does have sales from time to time, and I believe I picked this up 30% off, which was great. So that was not too bad. And I got it in the extra small just because it definitely has a more oversized feel to it. So even in an extra small, I can still probably fit a sweater under this. So I think I would say size down when in doubt with something like this jacket, but I just think this is really beautiful and I absolutely just loved the wool material. So kind of in keeping with the wool theme, there are two tops. One of them is another top from COS, and it's actually a big staple in my wardrobe, but I have it only in black. So I have a long sleeve version. Let me just show it to you. Yes, so I have this in black long sleeved, and then I also have it actually in a crop kind of sleeve, which I also love. And it's just such a great layering piece. It is really sheer, so it's not something you're probably going to wear on its own unless you definitely have like a nude bra and you don't mind the fact that it's a little bit sheer. But it's such an incredible layering piece because it is wool. It is so incredibly warm. So in the winter, if I have this under a sweater, I like barely need a jacket. It's honestly so incredibly warm. The only downside is that they really upped the price of this. So I remember back in the day, the other ones that I ordered, especially the long sleeve black one, which is really the twin of this one, it was $50, which for 100% wool, I think is a very reasonable price. This was almost, I believe, $80. So they really raised the price of this. But just given how much I knew that I wore the old one, I really love this pine green color. And again, if you guys have been around for a while, you know I don't wear a lot of color, and I'm really trying to wear a little bit more color in terms of more navies and little greens like this. I ordered this burgundy sweater, so we'll see how that goes. But I am trying to experiment a little bit with like these really beautiful rich colors this fall. So this was me going out on a limb a little bit, trying something new. And I just think this color in general is really flattering on my skin tone. So yeah, I thought that would be kind of fun and nice to pick up. The next item, I hinted at it a little bit when I talked about the crop sleeve, but this was something that was sort of missing from my wardrobe, and I have versions of this in other shirts, but nothing that's like a heavy sort of sweater. So this next item is this sort of cropped sleeved sweater. It's a cashmere sweater. I think it's 100% cashmere from H&M. I have another cashmere sweater from H&M that I absolutely love. It's part of their premium collection. I got it last year and it's gray, oversized, really soft and really enjoyable. Sorry, I'm trying to find the fabric content. Yeah, so this says it's 100% cashmere, but it doesn't feel the same as my other sweater. It's a bit thicker, which I actually don't mind. I think that usually looks really nice and wears really well. But it definitely is not like super soft. So I do want to call that out. However, I did like how it looks. I love this sleeve length. I just think this is such a flattering sleeve length. So that's really what drew me to this sweater. And of course it's black, so it's going to go with a lot of stuff. I also kind of liked how it wasn't too long. Like I mentioned before, a lot of my sweaters are maybe a little bit oversized. And I sort of liked how this one really hits right at my hip bone, just because I can tuck it into things like jeans or trousers, and I just think that's a little more flattering than having to tuck in like a lot of material. So overall, this I think is going to be a nice addition. I think the only thing I would just say isn't 100% great is the fact it's not quite as soft as my other H&M cashmere sweaters, and I don't know why. So just wanted to let you all know about that. All right, so the final kind of two pieces that are really special, I will start with the one that's a little more basic. So it's actually just a pair of jeans, just a pair of jeans. These are fantastic jeans. I already talked about these though, which is why I said just a pair of jeans. If you saw my dark denim video, I went into depth about all of my dark denim that I've sort of been picking up over the last year. And this is a new pair. I actually have this in 2 different sizes, which might seem excessive, but I think it makes sense because one of the pairs is a little more cropped, so it looks nicer with like ballet flats and tennis shoes. And then this pair goes all the way down to my ankles. So it's longer, it's got a 30-inch inseam instead of a 27-inch inseam like the other one. And this is sort of a special jean that Levi's did. You guys know I love a Levi's, but this is made from Japanese denim, that sort of like raw, really high quality denim. And I love these jeans. I think they look so chic. They just wear so well, and I'm just really excited to have another pair of these, to be perfectly honest, because they look so great with basically every single thing here and everything in my wardrobe. Like, it's very easy to style these jeans. I also, because they're, again, talked about this in my dark denim video, but a dark denim jean is so much more versatile than a different kind of colored jean or wear, because it can be a lot more formal. So it's really nice that I can wear this at night, during the day, to a lot of different occasions. So this jean has honestly, even though it was a little more expensive, sorry, that's my dog whining, they are really well made, and they're so beautiful. So I've been absolutely loving these jeans. And the final piece is actually another leather item. So this is probably a piece that I've been hanging on to the longest. I have had this piece now in my wardrobe, just waiting for fall since, I'm not exaggerating, I think the early spring. Whenever I got my COS white and blue striped shirt, that silk shirt that I absolutely love, I got that in the same order, and it's because, again, they had some kind of 20-30% off sale. And I had this exact skirt in wool, and it's one of my most worn skirts. I just love this shape. I think it's classic, but still interesting. It looks so good with tights and with boots. So having a leather version of this, like, I've really been wanting a really chic leather skirt for a while, and this is 100% real leather. I mean, this like really ticked all the boxes for me, and just knowing how much I loved this in wool, I just knew I was gonna love it in leather. So I cannot wait to wear this, because I've had this saved up in my wardrobe for so many months now. And that's also something too, is that I like to be really intentional most of the time with how I'm purchasing things. I kind of think about things that might be missing in my wardrobe, like more navy pieces or more color, or maybe like a daytime clutch. Like, I kind of have all these things either on a Pinterest board or sort of written down, and I don't let the seasons necessarily dictate when I'm buying things. In fact, I actually prefer to almost not buy things exactly when it's the new season, because then I'm sort of tempted into just buying whatever the newest trend is or whatnot. And so, yeah, so having a good intention of like, oh yeah, I would love to have a nice looking sort of all like, or mostly black tennis shoe, like that kind of thing. It just makes you end up really loving all the pieces that you end up accumulating. So, or at least it does for me. So hope you all enjoy this. I'd really love to know if you all have any exciting pieces that have either been on your wish list or that you picked up recently for fall. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you all in my next video.